Like, just gives the warrior a completely different way to play, really.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay, next, I guess, question or segment we got here is like, how could I be so wrong? And this is like classic case of like which cards were we just absolutely wrong about? And I mean, mine is this bad boy right here, Hydronox. I was completely wrong about him. And actually, let's just get all of ours on here. Let me see. We got Infestation, Ultimate Infestation.
I need to clarify.
I'm telling you, man, we're getting all the best cards on here. Oh, man.
All the Druid cards.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to think that I didn't think Infestation was going to be good. I just want to clarify, I did think it was going to be good, just not as good as it was, as it is.
Yeah. And, okay, so these are the cards. They're all Druid cards. Wow, we did really well in assessing Druid. Holy smokes, dude. Did we put Druid as number 1? Let me see what we put.
I mean, when we were doing it, we were doing a tier list, and we all did put Druid as tier 1. So.
I did put Druid as tier 1.
Okay, yeah, we did. Okay.
I didn't think we underestimated Druid, but I think we might have underestimated
Druid was all
cards.
tier 1.
I actually... Yeah. I was with you on Hadronox. I didn't think it would be as good as it was. I thought it just looked so slow that I just couldn't see how it would see play, but it's just crazy.
Well, I think the reason why it's so good is that, I mean, obviously the value is insane, but it's just everything else about Druid. Like, getting tempo now allows you to throw this guy down without, too much of a hit. Like, you're not losing the game if you throw down Hadronox on turn 9. And I think that's what I was afraid of. I was like, how could I throw down a 3/7 on turn 9 and still be in the game? But it turns out, no problems. No problems when you can get like 7 taunt minions back,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
super also good. Hadronox into Deathwing is just the best feeling ever.
It really is. It is. Absolutely. And then buffing that on top of No, the best is when you Hydronox and then you end up doing the buff, that 4 mana, that buff, or you Savage Roar or whatever, and you just kill a guy. It's like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Then we got the Malfurion. That's I think Malfurion was Jackie's, right?
Yeah, this was mine because we were kind of rating all the different hero cards, and I put I did like Warlock first, and then like Priest or something, and then I put like Rogue and some other things in there, and I put Druid pretty low. Like I put like about 7th or something. I thought, this card is okay, but like, why would you play this in Druid? I don't know. But it's really popular, and I think
eating your words now.
Yeah, I mean, I think I still think the Priest and Warlock Death Knights are better, but I think this is a comfortable third, and it's just a solid addition to Druid. It's good in a lot of situations.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think it's like, I think with the Fandral it's like amazing, like, but I think when it's just by itself, it's just it's not bad. It's just like it's pretty good, and the hero power still isn't the greatest thing, but
as a one-of card, I just feel like it fits really well in some of these Druid decks, and so I definitely underestimated it.
But...
Yeah, I think another reason Earthen Scales and the armor might seem at less play is purely because of this card as well. You can just gain 3 armor every turn. It's almost like tank up every turn. So I think I really underestimated that hero power.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. And then Ultimate Infestation, the 17 mana value card for 10 mana.
When I originally looked at this card, I just thought that like drawing 5 cards was going to just be too much. Like you'd wind up and your hand size would be full. But and so I did think it was going to be strong. I just it completely changes the game. Like as soon as they I could rant about it forever. But it just gets them back in the game. Like, no, well, I mean, maybe Yogg you could compare it to, because sometimes Yogg gets you back in the game. But no, I just think the value is insane, and
it's versatile too, because you can actually hit them in the face too if you want.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah, but
definitely underestimated its power level.
Yeah, the tempo change is so awesome. Getting that 5/5 is huge. Like if it didn't have a 5/5, then I think it would be significantly worse. Like if you were to remove one thing, I think removing the 5/5 would be the worst thing to remove.
I think the armor would make that much difference.
Yeah, the draw 5 is pretty big too, but I don't think it's as consistently good as the the deal 5 and 5/5 ghoul.
Yeah.
It's definitely really good. Yeah. Well, we live and learn, right?
Live and learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next
Live and learn.
expansion, we'll see
Exactly.
what we're right about.
Yeah. Another card I massively underestimated is one we're about to talk about in a second. So.
Okay. All right. So the next segment that Jackie was referring to is anger. Anger. Which is when you see these cards played by your opponent, it's just like so tilting because just the times you've seen it. And for me, and it's not because if I just think about it in a vacuum, it is. In fact, this is one of my favorite cards I listed, or I listed as good or whatever. But man, the times Cobalt Scalebane has come down, and I have not been able to do anything about it has been very numerous times, and dang, that really sucks when you get that +3 on something, something smaller, and it's had pretty big effects on my games.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen it much. What decks have you been seeing it in?
Dragon Priest. I've seen it in even some people play it in Druid, just the taunt Druid, because it just taunts up those 1/5s, like to 4/5s. So
I've run into it with Zoo. Actually a few times people have put it in Zoo. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I know what you mean. When you can't answer it, if it gets too it buffs 2 minions, it's actually kind of valuable. I was surprised. So I can.
I find a lot of times it comes down behind a taunt, so it's just kind of geez. I mean, I'm not playing priest, so I can't get to it, without using 2 cards or something like that. So
right.
I mean, generally using it in decks where you have lots of low attack, high health minions are definitely going to be better, because if you use it on something with like 1 attack, it's going to be pretty easy to clear. But then, if you're using it on something with high health, it's going to be a lot harder to remove and significantly more threatening.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to play it in Shaman or the Divine Paladins, but I figured it'd be pretty good in both those decks. Like eventually, if we anything where you have tempo, like this card's going to be good, right? Like any deck that can give you consistent tempo, I think will be pretty good.
It's a 5/5. It's a 5-mana 5/5.
I know.
It's got decent stats as it is. So.
Exactly. Okay, the next one is Allie. You have Skelemancer. Wow. That's nice.
So I've been playing quite a bit of Exodia Mage, and this just puts the brakes on all of my blizzards. It drives me insane. And if you're not running a silence and they Spike or Steed it, it sucks. I don't know. For whatever reason, this card just really triggers me because it's an 8/8. It's a problem. You can't deal with it a lot of the time. So, but it mainly was because I was playing a lot of Mage and. I mean, this was the card I massively underestimated. Like I saw this card for the expansion, I was like, it's a 5-mana 2/2. You just ignore it, and they never get the 8/8. Yeah.
Sometimes they might get Spike Rich Steed on it. But actually in Paladin, the amount of times they're able to taunt it is ridiculous. Now they have Bone Mare as well, so it's almost always it's getting taunt on it, and you're almost always giving them an 8/8. It seems impossible to not give them an 8/8.
It really is, man. It's it's almost stronger not being the 8/8 and being the threat of an 8/8, because it forces your opponent to do awkward things, right? So I agree. Have you guys played any of the abominations or anything like that to try to trigger the death rattles on these things, or is it just mostly been taunting it and things like that?
I haven't. No, most have been taunt. I've seen it a lot in Paladin.
Paladin really is only where I've seen it for the most part. Yeah, it's in Paladin.
Like N'Zoth too, or just straight?
No, just I was playing a mid-range Murloc list, and I think they were running this as a Steed target. Yeah, I haven't played many N'Zoth. I don't think I've played a N'Zoth Paladin yet, actually. So and for as much Priest as I've been playing, I have yet to Ocean of Madness this. I've been playing so much Priest, and I can't actually get this off.
I can say the same thing. I have Cabal Shadow Priest too.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I've never taken one of these guys.
Yep.
It's pretty silly.
Feels bad, man.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one, man. It's totally a good one. Let's see. The last one we have here is Jackie's Eternal Servitude. Good old resurrect again.
Yeah, I mean, like, kind of the big priest has been a lot more popular than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Easy priest, easy. But the amount of times they get something in, like, so many times my opponent will coin Barnes, and then they'll just get something ridiculous, like a Ysera or the Obsidian statue or something, and then they just play this 4-drop, and then you just lose. On the spot, like I can't actually believe how many times they've been able to get something big from this, like really early in the game, and it's been insanely annoying. Even the 6 mana spell that summons a 5/5 copy of something.
Yep.
That's been like played way more than I thought it would as well. And combined with this, it's really, really good.
Gosh, the Obsidian, oh man, Obsidian statue. I've had people run this so many times and get that card on me. It is like you said, it's devastating. It's so hard to come back from that. The other one is much more inconsistent though. That 5/5 I find super inconsistent, but this one is crazy good. Yeah.
I was playing a lot of Big Priest for a little while there, and it's such a high roll deck. Like if it high rolls, you're golden.
Course.
Like there's just, you know, but I guess it's too inconsistent, I think, for the most part. So
yeah.
But it's definitely triggering when you're playing against it for sure, and they just bring back a charge. Like, okay, calm down.
Game over. Calm down. Yeah. But this card, how do you rate this card compared to, say, the Onyx Bishop, and just even straight up Resurrected too? The fact that you can choose 3.
Yeah, I think it makes such a huge difference, and it makes it kind of significantly better, really. Well, maybe not significantly because you don't get the body attached with it, but definitely better.
Have you guys tried it with maybe Injured Blade Master or anything like that? I've never gotten a chance to do that.
No, I haven't tried it yet.
I haven't tried that type of res priest really. I've just been doing the bigger one. So. Yeah.
Everybody goes for the greedier one, always.
The bigger the better.
The bigger the better, exactly right.
Size matters.
I think it's
size matters. Like, I didn't know that, Jackie. Wait. That sounded a little wrong. Actually.
Moving on.
Okay, well, let's move on to the next one, which is Damn You, Rich. And this is about more of an free-to-play discussion, which is does this expansion seem more expensive to you in terms of playing viable decks than any in the past? Because we already had this discussion for Ungoro, right? The community already brought it up. Is Knights of the Frozen Throne worse?
I personally don't think it's worse. It might be on par with Ungoro in terms of because obviously Ungoro had all the quests. So if you wanted to play, you know, a quest warrior, a quest rogue, or something like that, was just a guaranteed legendary that you needed to buy. So yeah, I don't think this one is worse, but I guess we do have all the Death Knights. I don't know. I'm actually curious to hear what you guys have to say about that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of similar to Ungoro because previously in expansions before that, a lot of the class legendaries wouldn't be kind of things you have to craft, or a lot of them wouldn't be that good. But with the quests, like, you have to base whole decks around these legendary cards. And it's the same with the Death Knights. You need this card to play this particular deck. And so I think the fact that you've got all these neutral Death Knights that people want to craft, and a lot of them are pretty powerful, I think makes it kind of expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with Jackie there. Like, I think that with the quests, there weren't that many viable quests, to be honest. You know, like...
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, some of these that end up like Exodia Mage and stuff, I mean, those are a little niche, you know, and of course, if you're a pro player, you're going to absolutely want those because of events and things like that. But on the ladder, you know, you could get away with not doing, you know, getting most of those, right? I think with the DKs though, the Death Knights, there's a lot more that are relevant, you know, and like you're gonna want like probably 5 of these Death Knights like now.
Well, right now at least.
Yeah, at least right now. And given that the common cards or the neutral cards, the neutral cards are powerful too. Like I mean, they have powerful class cards, but there's powerful, you know, neutral cards in a lot of these decks now too. Like the Lich King, for instance, right? That's just adds more cost to just most of the decks, especially if a Lich King, people call him Dr. 8. I mean, that just means more decks are going to have that legend card in it. So I think it's a little bit more expensive. And we already had the discussion during Ngoro. I actually think it's more than Ngoro, but I don't know if the discussion was even warranted for Ngoro in the first place. So I don't know where that puts this. I think this one is generally more expensive than it was after Gadget Zan. So yeah, it is a little bit more. I just can't tell. Like my big drew is ridiculous, right? Any big deck is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Lich King is actually really good for free-to-play players because it gives them a legendary that is strong that you can play in a lot of different decks. Like the thing with the Death Knights and stuff is that you can only play one class or one specific deck even.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Whereas Lich King is a lot more versatile and you're essentially getting more value out of your legendary if you're playing lots of different decks. Also, they did give us a Death Knight with the
Gul'dan,
the prologue, so that is also an upside. So
yeah,
I think it's not too bad, but yeah, I think the main thing is that you have to base your whole deck. So many decks are based around single legendary cards. I think is the big thing.
When we get asked that question, we always get asked the question, well, I'm a free-to-play player, which legend should I get? You know, I think the Lich King is a very good candidate for that now. You know, like, you know, now the Rag's, you know, just gone, and I mean, Ysera's just not as good as Lich King. Lich King's actually better than Ysera, so at least maybe we have a very consistent answer for that right now.
Yeah,
sure.
It's true. Everyone always asks that question. Yeah. I mean, we've seen him in like quite a few. I mean, Paladin and just Druid and like it's
Priest
been
Priest,
Warlock,
his Warlock,
yeah, for sure.
Every single class.
I mean, those Death Knight cards are just so good. In fact, you know, and it's a taunt too. I think that it's a big deal that it's a taunt. If it wasn't a taunt, it
Huge
would. Yeah, I mean, like I wouldn't play it. Well, it's not that I wouldn't play it, but it's just it wouldn't be as effective with Hadronox and. You know, like Hadronox brings it back. You get 2 Lich Kings, guys, when you play Hadronox. It's like ridiculous. So yeah, I think that makes is really effective, especially when you're playing like tempo decks and things like that. It doesn't hurt as bad, right? It's like, okay, they still have to run into it, and I still get all the bonuses from the Lich King. But yeah, anyways, getting back to it, the question, I think it is a little bit more expensive. They tried to make the legendary cards good this time, and I think they succeeded more so than they did, like more so than not. Like, there's not that many meme cards. Do you know of any, like, too many meme? Like, what are the meme cards?
Mewagon.
Oh, Mewagon, yes. Mewagon is, yes, a meme card, that's for sure.
Priest card, the Archbishop, I feel like he could be kind of
okay,
meme-y.
yeah, you could, and it's in Syndragosa, too, maybe. Like, we haven't played any of those guys. So
I played Syndragosa in the Death Knight Jaina.
Is he good?
List.
Or is she good? Is she a she or he? I don't actually know.
It's a girl, yes,
Okay.
Syndragosa. With that deck, I think you run her just because the hero power summoning a 3/6 and getting a legendary is just too good.
Right.
But if you're not running the Death Knight, I don't feel like she's good enough. But
okay. What do you think the cheapest deck out there is right now?
the cheapest.
Yeah. Like before you could say what, Pirate Warrior, right?
Yeah.
Pirate Warrior, that's got patches. Actually, Secret Hunter is not bad. Secret Hunters.
Yeah.
Hunter's
You
always
don't need any
cheap.
legendaries except high main.
Well, Secret has that Putricide dude, right?
Yeah, but you don't need to play that. Like, I have mixed feelings about that card.
Okay.
Aggro Druid? It's like Aggro Druid?
Aggro Druid.
There's no
Aggro Druid's
legendaries, right?
pretty
in
cheap.
Aggro.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. If you don't play like the Death Knight, if you play like a lower end one.
I was playing some Aggro Druid yesterday and I didn't run the Death Knight, so
Yeah.
I think it was
Has anyone tried Secret Mage as an expansion? That's always been a pretty cheap deck, but I haven't tried it yet.
haven't, no.
Secret Mage. I haven't tried it either.
No.
Okay, well, it sounds like there still are some cheap decks out there, and that's important. That's really, really good. So that tells me that it's the cost of playing or the cost of the meta right now isn't that high. It still might be a little bit higher, but it's not high to the point where it's a concern, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys, you'll still have to pay if you don't want to grind out some legends. So that's just the reality of Hearthstone. That's just how it goes. Okay, well, we've got an email. We got some email questions. Those of you that emailed us questions, thanks so much for that. And you can do so by emailing valuetown@chanmanv.tv. Some of you guys sent in cards, too. We're not going to do Mechatorps this week, but we might resume it very, very soon. We're just kind of holding off, given that the new expansion's out, and there's just so much to talk about. New cards to talk about that, coming up with cards would seem a little bit out of place whenever we're still learning, a lot of these cards that are actually out there. But in the near future, we'll start it back up. But you can keep sending them if you want. Ahmed N asked, just our regular question asker.
Ahmed.
Exactly. Oh,
good old Ahmed.
Yeah. Yeah. Our friend Ahmed. What is the most surprising performance of a new card till now? Mine are strong. Was it Stroghill Scavenger? Is that the +2/+2 thing?
Yeah, Stroghill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Skelemancer. Okay, yeah, those are the two of the ones that we talked about. Anything else the most surprising for you guys? That it's good?
One thing I was surprised. I'm surprised that Arthas has seen no play.
I see it sometimes.
It's kind of the opposite of being good.
Yeah.
You seen it? I've seen very little
Sometimes.
Arthas.
Yeah, I don't even know what.
I don't
decks,
like
though.
playing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually not surprised. I feel like the stats for its mana cost, even with the abilities, too slow. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I didn't think the the Simulacrum card. It obviously works in Exodia Mage. I don't think it works anywhere else right now, but I didn't expect it. I mean, it's in a totally viable deck right now, so I kind of underestimated that card. But other than the ones we discussed, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Hadronox was a big one.
Yeah, Hydronox I think was probably the most. I mean, when you're talking about power index to where we had it, I think that one was pretty close. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in any of the other classes. We didn't really discuss Shaman much. Is there anything in Shaman? I feel like Shaman's not that great right now.
I feel like Shaman is unexplored. I don't know. I feel like
I agree with
a lot of people haven't really been trying to make Shaman lists all that much, but I feel like there might be a Jade Shaman that's viable, maybe.
Oh, Jade Shaman, really? Okay.
Yeah, potentially.
Well, I just think that the token build of it, just what we've always known to be Shaman, at least recently, is is pretty much gone now. I mean, Plague by itself beats Shaman, I feel like. When you're Druid. It literally single-handedly beat. You just let that Murloc totem. It's just bring it, dude. Just bring more 1/1s. That's cool. I'll go to
Defile.
Yeah, it's just or into Defile too. It's just whatever, man. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So I feel like Shaman. Yeah, I mean the evolve is inconsistent too. It's like a cool thing. But yeah, and sometimes you can get downgraded on the evolve too. So it's a little bit inconsistent. There's just not that power level as some of these other things. So yeah. Anyways, to answer your question, I can't think of any that we haven't talked about. We talked about a lot of them.
Yeah, another one I'm a little bit surprised about is Bear Shock. I didn't think Bear Shock would be terrible, but I also didn't think it would be amazing. But after playing it, I'm loving it.
I've been beaten by it many times.
Yeah,
and every time I get beat by it, I just think of Allie. Every single time.
Good shot, Allie. Good shot.
Thank you.
But I think it's kind of because you compare it. Sometimes I've been thinking it's better than Animal Companion because it's is it better than Animal Companion? It's if you're against something slow like a Kazakus Priest or a slow Druid, you would rather play your 4/3 that they can't touch than use Animal Companion. But then against aggro decks where they already have the board, Pirate Warrior and stuff, you would rather have the Animal Companion, I think, for the Misha or the Huffer.
Yeah.
But Bear Shock's very good.
It's if you could get Misha every time, then obviously that would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
But But it's just I think it has a lot to do with the product of Hunter actually having good 1 and 2 turns. Everybody talks about Hunter having like weak turns early, but actually turn 1 and turn 2 are strong, and like you're seeing it more and more now. Like the fact that they can, they have an open board, or they have a board that's going to be in favor of them when they do play the Bear Shark, and then it's kind of like old school Hunter, right? That's how it's always been played.
I just thought of something, but I feel like obviously Hunter has Alley Cat, and I think Jackie, you mentioned a few times, kind of in contrast to what Chairman just said, that its early game struggles a little bit because it's just not as fast as Mothers. And I was thinking, if it had patches, like if Hunter had a way to have patches, I feel like it would actually make a huge difference.
Yeah, I agree. Like I don't think Hunter has that good early game. Like if you compare it to like Murloc Paladin or like Pirate Warrior, its early game is just inferior. But I think it's actually easier right now to get ahead on the board with Hunter than it has been for a while, because the meta is fairly slow because of the amount of druids and the amount of Death Knight priests and things like that. It's Hunter is better than it's been for a while.
Yeah.
The Razor Maul helps quite a bit too. Like it's just because the main thing with the Hunter is because a Hunter doesn't have a 1/3. It doesn't have any, like they're all 2/1s. That deal 1 damage random. Like they're literally all 2/1s. It's like they don't even want they don't want to give Hunter that. Probably for good reason, but it's very clear that they've been sticking to a very low health total for 1-drops for them. And with Razor Maul, because Razor Maul helped quite a bit, right? Like the number of times it's Alley Cat Razor Maul, I can't even. I wouldn't. It's like almost automatic. I just assume that's going to happen like that at this point.
Does patches go out of rotation next year, or is it the year after?
Next year.
Is next year? Because that could make that, like, when patches leaves the game, that will make such a massive difference to aggro decks.
Patches came out at BlizzCon, right? Like
when did it?
Yeah, it got announced at BlizzCon. So it came out Gadgetzan, so it should be next year.
It came out in Gadgetzan, right?
Yeah. So that'll be over a year. Yeah, it should be retired next year.
Because like one of the reasons basically the reason 2/1 minions, 1 mana 2/1s are terrible right now, is literally just patches.
Wait, is that right? It should, right? Like,
is it Gadgetzan or is it?
Wait, so it's Whisper. Oh no, it's Whispers and Terrazan.
And then Gadgetzan.
Wait, does get?
Man, we're looking Twitch chat. Twitch chat says Mean Streets.
It's Mean Streets. Oh, I know it's in Mean Streets, but does Mean Streets get retired? It does, right?
Oh.
Because it was before the end of the year, right? So I believe it gets retired. I could be wrong. But I don't think Ungoro definitely doesn't get retired. So it's a matter of just like when that cutoff is. I'm a little confused as to whether it's the end of the calendar year or we'll have to see.
Yeah, Mean Streets will rotate out with Old Gods.
Okay, that makes sense because Old Gods was in March too.
Chat.
Yeah. Thanks, chat. Thanks for clarifying.
Oh, was it December?
Yeah, it was December because it was announced at BlizzCon.
Yeah. Yes, patches going soon.
Yeah, that will be big. And actually, yeah, you're right. I think it will help Hunter. I've been seeing some Call of the Wild back recently. Have you guys seen a little bit of that with like the people using the hero power, and then just surprises me with like Call of the Wild? I'm like, what?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I think Call of the Wild is better than Zoth in Hunter. So yeah, I like Call of the Wild. I think it's still good.
Y'all see any cool zombies yet? I haven't seen anything that looks like ridiculously cool. Yeah.
I've been playing it quite a lot, and it's the value you can get out of that hero power is actually ridiculous. Like the hero power, once you've used the Death Knight, it's so fun as well. Like it's so good.
Really?
I gotta play Hunter soon. Yeah.
I gotta try Hunter too.
It's really, really fun. If someone wants, like, I think it's by far the most, well, maybe not by far, but I think it's the most fun thing of the new expansion. The Hunter hero power is it's so good. It's so good.
I played against a Hunter, and I was so triggered because I lost the game, but he had the option to make a zombies for the first time. And I was like, dude, I would happily concede, just make the zombies instead of killing me, like just for the fun of it. Like just
do it, man.
Just make the zombies, don't kill me.
Exactly. No, I have to win when I'm supposed to win.
But I think he could have killed me that turn anyway, though.
Oh, you
like
couldn't? Okay.
he just decided not to make a zombie. So I was like, dude,
Okay, I see.
have some fun.
And
Yeah.
it's actually surprising the amount of like the versatility of the beasts you can get. There's actually 3 poisonous beasts. So it's
What?
actually poisonous is really easy
Really?
to get.
Really? Wow.
If you get like charge and poisonous, obviously that's really good. Obviously there's owl.
Wait.
which
I
is
thought
useful
you
in
couldn't
sense.
get charge and poisonous. Is that because I thought the second beast you pick has to be like either no text
can
or
get-
benign text. Like not
No, you can
keywords.
get charge and poisonous.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So no, I think it's the first one has to be. The first one is all like text and effect. The second one is it's just stats, but it can have an effect. So it can be like poisonous or charge or
Okay.
something like that.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Charge and poisons sounds fair. Sounds like that's ridiculous. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I definitely need to try out Hunter in the near future here, maybe this week. So, I wonder if we should come up with some kind of quest between all of us. Like, let's come up with a contest between us. What should we do? What should we do,
Yeah.
guys? Yeah. Anybody in the chat?
Okay.
Anybody have an idea of what we can do? We all do the same thing and see what we can.
Against each other, right?
Yeah, against each other. So it could be anything. It could be like a quest to do a certain task, like an actual certain sequence of events, and then we have to screenshot it or something like that. Or or it's just, I don't know, maybe even just like winning, X number of times.
Play seven penguins on turn 1 with Stampede.
That's like virtually impossible.
I mean,
Isn't it?
we could maybe come up with decks for the Death Knights that are less played, like maybe something like who can make the best Death Knight Rogue or something like that.
Death Knight Rogue.
Maybe.
Hunter or what other ones do we have that are not that popular right now?
Okay.
Shaman.
Yeah, Shaman's not very popular. That's true.
It's not very popular.
Rogue's not as popular. Even though I had a rogue. Oh my god, I had a rogue. Man, I felt like he. Oh my gosh, what was the card that he was using? I forget the. What's the card that removes a minion? The card when you combo. No, the 3/4 that kills a minion. I'm having like total brain fart. The 5-drop. The 5-drop to the 3/4 that
Vilespine Slayer.
Yeah, Vilespine.
Yeah.
I felt like he had like 6 Vilespines on me. Like, yeah, it was pretty crazy, man. Because I think he ended up mimic potting, and then he used the quest like 2 or 3 times on me with that card.
Oh.
It was like
Wow.
ridiculous. Yeah, like when you get the blank card, right, and then it copies whatever you play or whatever. Yeah. So God.
I've actually played a little bit of Malygos Rogue with the Death Knight, and it was a lot better than I expected.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wanted to play that.
You get Sinister
Yeah.
Strike and stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because like the problem with Malygos is obviously like it's so expensive, and you don't have the amount of mana to use it with stuff. But now you can like get 2 coins, for example, and you can do like 2 Sinister Strikes in 1 turn, that type of thing. So it was alright.
All right, cool.
Another prep is huge. Yeah.
Yeah, or Cold Blood. Cold Blood could be good too. Okay, well, let's just say, we could do a zombies thing. Who can just play the coolest zombies and or the most? I mean, we kind of already had that when we were building it, right? So maybe that's not.
Yeah.
You could build a quest.
Something else someone put in chat is create the ancient one with a 9/9 and the 3/3 legendary.
3/3 legendary. Which one was that?
You do the 3/3 that makes a copy of one of your other minions, and so you can do Blood of the Ancient one, Innovate Coin, use the 3/3 Prince on it, and then you get the Ancient one.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
I'm all about that, dude. I am all about the ancient one. Dude, I used to have an ancient one, big druid, that was fun as crap. So, okay, I'm all about that. That sounds good.
Okay.
So, what's the name of the card that's a 3/3 copy? What is that?
It's Prince Taldaram.
Oh, Prince. Okay. It's one of the princes. Okay.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a little bit
something
more
like
of a
that.
challenge. Okay. All right. So who can pull it off? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. That sounds good to me. If we can get the ancient one on there, and we have to win the game with the ancient one too. It's actually kind of hard to
win the game.
It's kind of hard to win the game with the ancient one sometimes, man.
Like you put all this effort in to get your 30 minion, and then it just gets Shadow of Death.
Yeah.
You don't even know how many times, man. I used to be like, "Ooh, I finally Barnes one, yes!" And then like I'll faceless it, and it's like, "Oh yes!" And then boom, he just Shadow of Death. It's like, man.
It was bad, man.
Yeah, and then but I still had the other one, so I tried it again. I almost got 2 ancient ones. Man, if you can get 2 ancient ones in a game, oh man, that should be an achievement.
Oh my god, you can resurrect the ancient one with the 4-mana priest spell.
Oh, that too. Oh,
Dude.
Oh man.
Okay, remember that one hunter deck that only played Barnes in your charge? Like, remember, that's what we need to do. We only can play those two.
Barnes on those cards too. Yeah. I know what you mean.
And then with the Eternal Servitude.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, that's the challenge this week. Maybe we should do challenges. This is kind of fun. We should maybe do challenges every week. So let's do that. I think the last thing we should do is pick a deck of the week. What do you guys think? Something that's not too crazy expensive. Should we do your Demon Lock maybe? Is it too bad?
Yeah.
I think the Demon Lock's pretty cheap. Yeah. So why don't we do the Demon Lock that we discussed here? I'll post that on the Patreon page, patreon.com/valuetown. And you don't have to actually be a patron, guys, to actually look at the Patreon page, because a lot of the stuff, including the audio for the show, is available to everybody. So don't think that we're talking about this deck of the week thing. It doesn't involve you guys. You can actually listen to it. It's just a matter of whether you want to be our guest and participate in it. So okay, well, anyways, that sounds good to me. We'll wrap up the show. It's been great. We got a lot in there, man. It's like an hour and a half. We got tons in there. Jackie, want to do some shout outs before we take off?
Yeah, shout out to my and Allie's team, Fade to Karma, for supporting us as ever. Thank you to everyone watching the stream. Thank you to all our patrons for supporting us and helping us continue doing what we love. And check out my Twitter, F2K_Jackie, and my stream, Twitch/Jackie Chan. Something like that.
Something like that.
Twitch.tv/Jackie.
Doesn't even know.
Don't even know my own Twitch.
He's not used to us doing. He's not used to us doing on Allie's stream. Is what he's usually like. Just follow me here. Like. That's
Yes.
Right.
Now I've got it easy. Yeah. I can just say, well, if you're watching this live, you're already on my channel, so thanks for checking it out. Yeah. F2K_Allie is my Twitter. What else there? Jackie said patrons and our team. Just anyone that enjoys the show and supports it in any way that you can. Thank you very much. And obviously to my co-host here, thank you for being great. And that's all for me. Oh.
Feels good, man.
Yeah, definitely feels good. Definitely feels good. I'll wrap things up. Thanks to both of you guys, of course, for doing it every week with me. And it's been a lot of fun planning these shows with you guys, especially with the expansion. And there are so many new things to talk about. And everybody else for watching today. You can find the VODs for the show on youtube.com/ChanManV, as well as all the previous episodes. You can find this on find the audios on iTunes, as well as Google Play and SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/ everything that ends in ChanManV. Okay, so any of those channels you ever wonder, just type ChanManV and you'll probably be safe. So you can find the show on all those places. Anything else? I think that's it. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention, is that if you're going to PAX West, definitely let me know, because I'm going to be at PAX West. We're going to be doing some streamer showdowns there. We're not going to actually be doing a Hearthstone streamer showdown, but we're going to be doing a couple of them there. So it'd be cool if I could get a chance to see some of you guys there. So, message me. You can go to my Discord, discord.gg/ChanManV, and you can shoot me a message. That'd be cool to maybe meet up with some of the Value Town fans out there. But that's going to be it, guys, for Value Town. So for Jackie Chan, Alliestrasza, and myself, ChanManV, I'll see you next week.
See ya.